I'm Brooke, 27, female, and I have been sitting on this for a while now. I do not even know if I feel guilty or justified or just tired. All I know is this whole thing spiraled in a way I never saw coming. It started as a ruined proposal and ended in something else entirely. I'm hoping writing it out will help me process everything. You tell me if I went too far. So let me start from the top. Last year, around late October, I had been planning a proposal for my boyfriend of 5 years, James, 29, male. We were high school friends who reconnected in our early 20s, and from the moment we got serious, marriage was something we talked about pretty openly. He always said he did not care about being the one to propose and would love it if I did, so I took it to heart. I spent months getting it just right. I saved up, booked this gorgeous Airbnb cabin in Colorado for early December, talked to his friends to help get him there under the pretense of a guy's trip. Picked a weekend that meant something to us and even bought a ring. I did not want to go flashy, just heartfelt. I had this scrapbook I was going to give him with little notes from our relationship. And the last page would have the ring tied in with a note asking him to marry me. It was going to be intimate and meaningful, just how I knew he'd love it. The only person I told at first was my sister Amanda, 31, female. Amanda and I have had a rocky relationship our whole lives. She was always more popular, more confident, louder, and honestly, more selfish. But she was my sister, and even though we were never super close, I wanted to include her in this special moment. I told her in mid-November and showed her the ring and the scrapbook. Her reaction was lukewarm at best. She did not seem excited. She sort of fake smiled and said it was cute. I chalked it up to her being in a weird mood and did not think too hard about it. A week later, she told me she was thinking of proposing to her boyfriend Kyle, 32, male. Now, Kyle is not it. He's the definition of bare minimum. He hasn't held a job for more than 6 months at a time. Lives with Amanda rent-free in her apartment and constantly borrows money from our parents. He's charismatic, sure, but that's where the positives end. Everyone in the family sees it, but Amanda always defends him. So when she said she wanted to propose, I was surprised, but I did not say anything. It was not my place. She's an adult. She makes her choices, but something about the way she said it made me uncomfortable. Almost like she was in competition with me. I did not think she'd actually do anything, though. Fast forward to the last week of November, James started acting a bit strange. Not cold, but distracted. I figured he was just busy with work, but 2 days before the trip, he sat me down and told me he knew about the proposal. I was confused at first. Then he said Amanda told him. He said she brought it up casually during a family brunch, told him it was so sweet what I was planning, and laughed it off like he already knew. She claimed she thought I told him already, except I had not. The surprise was gone, the entire build-up, the scrapbook, the moment I'd imagined for months, gone. James tried to comfort me, said he was still excited and we could still go and make it special, but I was devastated. I canceled the trip. I told him I needed some time to think and reset. He understood. I did not confront Amanda right away. I was too emotional. But then just a week later, she posted a video on Instagram, a full-blown proposal. She proposed to Kyle in a cheesy Christmas market setting with a custom-made ornament that said, "Marry me," with friends recording, twinkly lights, the whole deal. She wore a red dress and looked like she was auditioning for a Hallmark movie. The caption was something like, "He said yes, when you know," with a bunch of hearts. I did not know what to say. I was shocked. It felt so calculated. She knew I was going to propose. She ruined it. Then she turned around and made it her moment. And no, she never apologized for telling James. She brushed it off and said she was sorry, but assumed I told him. When I asked why she said anything in the first place, she just laughed and said she got too excited, that's all. That's when the resentment started brewing, but I did not stop there. Over the next few months, Amanda started planning her wedding like it was a royal event. She sent me Pinterest boards for dresses, cake tastings, floral arrangements. She asked me to be maid of honor, and despite everything, I said yes. I still wanted to be a good sister. Our mom pushed me to keep the peace, said family was everything. She started throwing little jabs too. She'd say things like, I never thought you'd be the type to propose first, or I guess I just couldn't wait, unlike some people. She joked about how some sisters need help being romantic in front of our cousins. Every time I swallowed it. Then, in early July, I found out something I did not expect. A friend of mine, Erica, 28, female, used to work at a car dealership where Kyle briefly worked last year. We met for drinks and were catching up when his name came up. I did not even bring it up at first. She asked me how Amanda's boyfriend was doing, and when I told her they were engaged, she looked shocked. She said she had heard something messed up about Kyle from a coworker after he left. Apparently, while working there, Kyle had gotten involved with a client, a woman who came in for financing help. He had convinced her to pay him directly under the table, saying he could speed up her approval. Then he ghosted her. She came back furious and threatened to sue. The dealership quietly settled it to avoid a scandal. This was not a rumor. Erica had seen the complaint herself. I felt sick. I started digging a little more, checked some old social media accounts. Turns out Kyle had several aliases online. One of them was linked to some shady online side gigs. Nothing illegal that I could confirm, but definitely sketchy. One even led to a sugar dating site where he was listed as a companion for older women. I did not know what to do with all this at first. I was not even sure Amanda would believe me. She was so deep into the wedding planning, it felt impossible to stop her. Part of me still did not want to ruin everything, even after what she did. But then came her bachelorette weekend. It was a rented beach house 3 hours away. 10 girls, lots of drinking, games, matching outfits, the whole deal. I tried to keep a smile on my face. I tried to participate, but the more she drank, the more Amanda kept going off about how perfect her life was, how she beat me to the altar, how everything works out for people who do not overthink things like Brooke does. I snapped. It was the last night. We were doing this dumb game where everyone had to share the craziest thing they ever did for love. Amanda made another joke about how some sisters think scrapbooks are romantic, and I just lost it. I stood up and said I had a story too. I told everyone about how I planned a proposal for James and Amanda ruined it by telling him. I said how she acted like it was no big deal and then hijacked the idea to propose to Kyle. People were quiet, but I was not done. I then said in front of all 10 girls that I hoped Kyle was worth it and that maybe she should ask him about what happened at Capital Motors. I told them about the client, about the shady payments, about the sugar dating profile. I pulled up screenshots. I showed them his alias account. A few girls gasped. One girl said she actually recognized the screen name from a weird Tinder message months ago. Amanda went white. She tried to laugh it off, said I was being petty, that I was making it up, but I just said, check the profile yourself. He's still active. One of the girls did, and yeah, it was him. Same pictures, same bio. She stormed out of the room crying. I left the next morning. No one really said anything to me. A few of the girls looked uncomfortable. One of them hugged me before I left and said she did not know all that I seemed strong. It's been a few weeks since then. The wedding is still on, as far as I know. Amanda hasn't talked to me since. My mom's furious. She says I humiliated the family, that I should have come to Amanda privately, but I tried. I really did. James has been supportive. He said he's proud I stood up for myself, but I can't lie. Part of me wonders if I went too far. I did not just ruin a party. I exposed her fiancé in a brutal way. And it was not even just about revenge anymore. I think I wanted her to feel what I felt. The betrayal, the humiliation, the powerlessness. But maybe I crossed a line, so AITA for ruining my sister's bachelorette party by exposing her fiancé's secret past after she hijacked my proposal plans and humiliated me for months. Update 1. Hey again, it's been about a month since I posted and I did not expect it to blow up the way it did. I read every comment, even the harsh ones. Some said I was petty, some said I did what needed to be done. Honestly, I still do not know where I stand. But things definitely escalated since then, and I figured I'd post a real update for the people who were invested. Buckle up, it got messier. After the bachelorette party disaster, Amanda completely cut me off. No texts, no calls, nothing. She even removed me from the bridesmaid group chat. I was not officially kicked out of the wedding, but the message was loud and clear. Our mom called me the next day and went off. Said I had embarrassed Amanda in front of her closest friends, ruined a once-in-a-lifetime moment. I told her I tried to handle things privately. She did not want to hear it. Dad did not say much, but I could tell he was not thrilled either. He's always been quieter between us. James stayed in my corner the whole time. He told me Amanda's been walking over me for years and that standing up for myself was not wrong. He also said he never liked Kyle, but did not want to say anything before because he knew how defensive Amanda got. It honestly felt good having someone back me up without trying to make peace for the sake of family harmony. Now here's where things took a turn. 3 days after the party, one of Amanda's friends, Leah, reached out to me. She was one of the girls who'd been there that night. She said she couldn't stop thinking about everything I said and had something she thought I should know. Apparently, a few of the girls did some digging of their own after I left and found out Kyle had actually messaged one of them on Tinder back in March. At the time, she did not even realize it was him because he used a different name. But when she saw the profile again after the party, it clicked. He had sent her flirty messages and even asked if she wanted to meet up for drinks. And this was well after the engagement. Leah confronted Amanda with the screenshots. Amanda did not believe her at first, said it must be fake, that people were just trying to sabotage her happiness. But then Leah showed her the profile still existed and matched the photos I showed. Apparently Amanda broke down crying and said she felt sick, but even after all that, she still did not call me. What finally pushed things over the edge was when Kyle showed up to our parents' house a week before the wedding and tried to play the victim. He came in all smooth, talking about how people were jealous of what he and Amanda had, how I was bitter because my proposal failed, and how I'd always resented Amanda. He even tried to suggest I had a crush on him back in the day. That's when my dad snapped. He rarely raises his voice, but he told Kyle to get out of the house and said he did not want a liar like him in the family. My mom still defended Amanda, but I could see even she was starting to get tired of Kyle's drama. So what did Amanda do after all this? She still married him. Yep. The wedding happened last weekend. It was smaller than planned because several bridesmaids dropped out, including Leah. I was not invited. My mom told me to stay away for my own good, though she said it more like a warning than advice. Apparently, Amanda did not want to look weak by calling it off last minute and said she did not want people gossiping. She told my mom she could fix Kyle and that every relationship has flaws. According to some distant cousins who went, the ceremony felt tense. Amanda looked beautiful, of course, but everyone noticed Kyle sweating through his shirt and avoiding eye contact with half the room. One cousin told me it felt more like a performance than a celebration. Since then, Amanda has made zero effort to talk to me. She blocked me on Instagram. She even untagged herself from old photos we had together. I heard through the grapevine that she's planning to move with Kyle to a new city for a fresh start. I honestly do not know how long that's going to last. I give it 6 months, maybe less. Part of me feels guilty, like maybe I should have handled it differently. Maybe I shouldn't have exposed everything at the party. Maybe I should have waited until after the wedding to say anything. But the other part of me feels like Amanda needed to hear the truth from someone, and she was not going to hear it gently no matter what. She did not respect my moment. She mocked me in front of others. She made my love life a joke. I did the same to hers, except the difference is I told the truth. As for me and James, we are okay. We have taken a bit of a step back from the whole proposal thing. I told him I wanted to wait a little, let things settle. I still love him, and he's been nothing but supportive, but the whole thing drained me. I never thought proposing would lead to this kind of chaos. For now, we are focusing on each other and trying to move forward without the family drama pulling us back in. I do not know when I'll talk to Amanda again. Part of me misses her, despite everything. She's my sister. We have shared so much, but after what she did and how she doubled down, I do not know if we will ever really be close again. Maybe some people just grow apart even when they share blood. Update 2. Hi again. I did not think I'd be back so soon, but something happened that I honestly did not see coming. And I am still kind of processing it. The wedding happened. Amanda blocked me everywhere, and things were pretty much silent for a couple of weeks. Then, out of nowhere, she showed up at my apartment last Friday night. No warning, no text, nothing. Just banged on the door like she was about to burn the place down. James was not home, so it was just me. I opened the door and she looked rough. Hair in a messy bun, no makeup, wearing old sweats and flip-flops. I had not seen her like that in years. She did not even ask to come in. She just walked past me and sat on the couch like it was still her place too. I stood there frozen for a second and then just quietly shut the door. I didn't say anything. She didn't either. She just stared at the floor for what felt like forever. Then she suddenly asked me if what I said at her bachelorette party was all true. Like dead serious this time. No attitude, no sarcasm, just tired. I told her yes, and that I still had all the screenshots if she wanted to see them again. She did not answer. She just nodded and stared at the wall. After a few minutes of silence, she started crying. No dramatic movie-style crying, but the kind where someone's trying hard to hold it in and it's just leaking out anyway. She said she had found something on Kyle's phone. He left it open in the bathroom, and she was not even snooping, but a message popped up. Some woman texting him asking if he got the money she sent and if he was still coming to visit. Amanda said her stomach dropped immediately and she scrolled through the thread. Turns out Kyle had been messaging at least 3 different women since before the wedding. Some flirty stuff, some money stuff, some things she did not even want to explain. He had a fake Venmo profile and used a different name to get payments from them. She confronted him the next day and he denied everything at first and then blamed her for being paranoid. She said they screamed at each other and he left the apartment that night. He had not come back since, and she had no idea where he was staying. I asked her if she was okay, and she just laughed in a way that did not sound like laughing at all. She said she felt like the dumbest person alive, that she gave up so much for someone who made her look like a joke. She even admitted she knew deep down something was off, but did not want to hear it from anyone else, especially me. Then she said something that really got to me. She said she felt like she ruined everything between us and did not know if I'd ever be able to forgive her. I didn't say anything right away. I just got up, grabbed a blanket, and tossed it to her. Then I sat on the other end of the couch and told her she could stay if she needed. She didn't say thank you or anything. She just pulled the blanket over her legs and kept crying quietly. She fell asleep on the couch that night. I left her there. Next morning, she was gone by the time I woke up. No note, no text, just gone. Later that day, I got a message from Leah saying Amanda had called her and apologized for how she acted. She told Leah she was not sure if she was going to stay married and that she felt like she was starting over at zero. I guess she's been slowly reaching out to the other girls too. No begging for forgiveness or anything, but just owning up to how she handled everything. I was surprised to hear that, honestly. Then today, something even weirder happened. Kyle texted me, first time I've heard from him directly ever. It was a short message. He said Amanda was trying to ruin his life, and if I had any respect left for her, I'd stay out of it. I didn't even respond. I showed the text to James, and he just shook his head and said the guy was desperate. I blocked Kyle immediately. James has been supportive through all of this, but I can tell he's getting tired of the drama. He told me gently that maybe it's time I draw some kind of line with Amanda, especially if she keeps dragging herself through this toxic mess. He's not wrong. I don't want to get pulled back into more chaos, but I also can't pretend like I do not care. She's still my sister. She's still the girl who made friendship bracelets with me in 3rd grade and cut my bangs with safety scissors in 6th. But she also did real damage, and I do not know what kind of relationship we're even capable of having now. I've not heard from Amanda since she left my place. I don't know if she's gone back to Kyle or if she's staying with a friend or at a hotel. Our mom texted me earlier saying Amanda called her crying but did not say why. I didn't tell her Amanda came to my place. I don't want to add more fuel right now. I feel exhausted. Part of me wants to shut it all out and just move on with my life and focus on James, my work, my own peace. But another part of me knows Amanda's probably going to spiral and end up back in something worse if no one's there to catch her. I just don't know if I'm the one who should be doing the catching anymore. So yeah, that's where we are right now. No resolution, no answers, just a whole lot of fallout and some broken pieces that might never fit back together. Update 3. Hi guys, so Amanda came back again 2 nights ago, and this time she was not crying or yelling. She looked calm, which honestly made me feel more nervous. I expected another storm, but she showed up with this quiet energy like she had already made up her mind about something. She knocked lightly, and when I opened the door, she just stood there holding her bag and asked if we could talk. I nodded and let her in. James was not home, which I think she knew. She sat down at the kitchen table like she'd done it 100 times before, and I started making us tea just to fill the silence. She did not say much at first, just stared at the table. After a minute, she said she moved out of Kyle's apartment. She did not say they broke up or filed for anything, just that she packed her stuff, left a note, and walked out. I asked where she was staying, and she said a coworker offered their guest room for a while. No drama. No confrontation this time. Kyle came home, saw the note, and blew up her phone. But she didn't answer. She blocked him after he sent 3 voice notes blaming her for everything, calling her controlling, saying she was the reason things were falling apart. She said she did not even cry, just listened, deleted them, and blocked his number. She told me she had not told mom and dad yet. She didn't want to deal with the questions or the "I told you so" looks. Said she didn't want to admit she messed up to the people who always thought she had everything figured out. Apparently, mom is still going around telling people Amanda and Kyle are just taking a little time to settle into married life. And Amanda's been letting her believe it. She said she's not ready to hear mom's voice full of disappointment, and she's definitely not ready for dad's quiet judgment. Then she looked at me and asked if I thought she was a horrible person. Not in that dramatic way she used to say stuff, but just soft and tired. I told her I didn't think she was horrible. I said I thought she was selfish, that she let her ego hurt the people who actually cared about her, and that she didn't want to be vulnerable enough to admit when she was wrong. She nodded like she already knew I'd say that, and she did not argue or roll her eyes. She just said she agreed. Then she pulled something out of her tote bag and slid it across the table. It was the scrapbook, the one I made for James when I was planning my proposal. The one I showed her months ago. I had not seen it since. I thought I lost it or maybe even threw it out by accident when I was cleaning. She said she found it while packing, buried at the bottom of a box she never unpacked after moving in with Kyle. She said she had forgotten she even took it, but when she opened it, she read every page and then she cried. She told me the scrapbook made her feel like a fraud, that I had created something real and meaningful, and she stole the spotlight for a moment that ended up being fake. She said she saw how much love I poured into it, and she felt disgusted at how easily she tried to compete with that by staging a proposal that did not even come from the heart. She said she thought if she made hers big and public and perfect, it would drown out how small and scared she actually felt about Kyle. Instead, it just exposed everything. I didn't say much. I just stared at the scrapbook. Still looked the same. Little sticky notes, Polaroids, song lyrics, and the ring tied to the last page. I didn't even open it all the way. I just nodded. She asked if I could forgive her. Not right now, she said, just one day. I told her I did not know. That was the honest answer. I did not hate her anymore, but I was not ready to trust her either. She said that was fair. She said she just wanted to tell me she was sorry in person without excuses, that she was done pretending everything she touched turned to gold. I did not tell her to leave. We ended up just sitting there drinking tea in silence for a while. It was not warm or emotional or sisterly, but it was not angry either. It just was. When she finally stood up to go, she gave me a small hug. Not a dramatic movie hug, just quick and quiet. I hugged her back. I don't really know why. Maybe because part of me still missed her, even after everything. Later that night, James came home and saw the scrapbook on the table. He looked surprised and asked if I wanted to pick up where I left off. I told him no. I said I did not want a do-over or to force something to feel right just because things had settled down. I said I just wanted to be present. If something happened later, great. If not, also fine. I wanted peace more than a perfect moment. He smiled and said he liked that idea better anyway. The next day, Amanda texted me a picture of the room she was staying in. Small space with just a mattress on the floor, a desk, some folded clothes in the corner. She said it felt weirdly peaceful. She said she bought a journal and was writing again. She said it's the first time in years she's actually been honest with herself on paper. I told her I was glad she was doing that. She did not push the conversation further. I think we both needed space. Mom still does not know what's really going on. She called me last night, talking about Thanksgiving plans and how excited she is for the newlyweds to come over. I did not say anything. It's not my place to tell her. Not yet. Things between me and Amanda aren't fixed yet, but they are not messed up in the same way anymore. It's like a door was cracked open just a little, not enough to walk through, but enough to let air in. And after everything, that's probably all we need for now. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.